Majo John Madden, Juanito I'm in the smoking porch of the Haywood Respite Center, looking out at the parking lot, which is empty on a Sunday morning. Usually on a weekday, it's starting to fill up by now. And I want to make an entry about what we can do internally in ourselves to find more peace. I just made a video an hour ago or so on the back porch about things that happened around here yesterday with people to help me feel more safe around this respite center. And I realized I want to make a parallel entry to what we can do inside ourselves, not through conversations or experiences out there. I was sitting out here, and the only other people in this room were my two roommates. I thought, that's pretty interesting. It's just the three guys from my room who are out here. That felt nice. And they were talking about things I had things to say about West Asheville. And I wanted to ask a question about where are the projects in West Asheville, because I had some experiences there. But I chose not to involve. I said, get quiet, get quiet. Then they were talking about little socks that we wear. And I was about to put on my pair of little socks here. And I thought I could talk about that. Don't. Be quiet, be quiet. And I just started hearing the birds out here. And on this side of the building, I hear birds more than on the west side where the highway is running. And I don't know if you can, there's a bird just flew up in that tree right there. And birds, paying attention to birds helps me get quiet, takes me back to God. Birds live in that mid-zone between earth and heaven. And they've always stood to me for spirit, and they're messengers from spirit. And I'm exhaling. Because then my roommates left, and I have this room all to myself, which very seldom happens. And it's been an issue for me, the noisy conversations that can happen in here, and specifically when people are playing their devices out here, that's been an issue for me, including last night. I made a entry a couple of weeks ago called I Could See Peace Instead of This. I can see peace instead of this. It's a line from the Course in Miracles. And I'm hearing that sentence this morning. I can see peace instead of all the chaos of running around having my breakfast and getting my pills and getting my cigarettes and getting things in order. I talk about what I call free feng shui, which is not following a bunch of rules to make your environment wonderful, but following your own internal rules of what do I need to give me a sense of order. And sitting in this particular chair up in the corner right next to the windows can make me feel really peaceful. And listening to the sound of my own brain. I studied science of spirituality 30 years ago in Chicago, and they talk about listening to the inner sound. Well, I have two inner sounds I listen to. One, I've decided and had some confirmation, is really just the humming of my own brain. It's a high-pitched, whiny sound. But there's a deeper sound which feels to me like really the humming of the life force. And when I listen to that sound, I feel really all kinds of healing happening inside of me. And now, right now, as I'm talking, I can hear the sound of the high-pitched humming. Let me just see if I can drop down and hear the lower sound. No, I can't right now. But I can hear the birds, and I can hear the absence of traffic out there on a Sunday morning. There's a bus going by, but lots less cars than on a weekday. And people are sleeping in. It's early in the day, and I think on Sunday around here, people sleep in later. And I made a video about peace earlier, and I've done a number of things this morning to help me feel more connected around here. And I've let go of doing other things. can just listen to the quiet. Yesterday I was having a conversation about mindfulness with a friend who volunteers here and who was sitting right over there. And she is reading a book about mindfulness, and I said to her, I studied for a while under Thich Nhat Hanh, who's really the guy who made the word mindfulness popular in the U.S., Vietnamese Zen Buddhist. And I said, I actually studied with him. She didn't know his name, but she knows mindfulness. And she said, wow, you're so interesting. And I am. Too interesting for my own good in many ways. My life has been so complex. But in this moment, Thich Nhat Hanh used to say, in this moment, what is the problem? And if I stay right with this moment right here, I hear the birds, I hear my roommate walk back into the room, and I like him a lot, and we're getting to know each other better. And just in the last few days, I've realized I'm going to stay in this respite center longer than I originally had planned, because I won't even get my medical results for another 9 days or so, the beginning, and then it will be more after that. So I'm settling. This is going to be my temporary home longer than I had realized. And so I'm getting to know my neighbors, which is great. And these birds are also my neighbors. And I'm slurring my words more today than sometimes. And that means the UTI infection I'm battling still is active, because that seems to be what makes me slur my words. And I don't have to worry about that. In this moment, is that a problem? Well, if people complain and say, I can't understand your video, it could be a problem. But in this moment, it's not a problem. Yeah, so there we go. I think I don't need to say anymore. Have a good day. Happy Sunday, folks. In Mexico today is Domingo, the Lord's Day.